Hello, everyone. We're back again on Talk Football Live. And as we promised you guys, we're here this week to talk about the FIFA Club World Cup. You guys might notice we have some new and familiar faces on here. So I myself, Ayo, and I've got my regular co-host Bjorn here with me. We've kicked Charles out for tonight. No, he couldn't make it actually. Uh, we've brought in a couple of guys from Chelsea and Man City. So as you guys might know, if you've been following, Chelsea and Man City are the English flag bearers in the FIFA Club World Cup. So we'll be taking a look at how both teams are going to do. We'll look at their groups, we'll look at the fixtures, we'll talk about both teams' chances, and as we like to do, we'll get the fans' perspective on how they're thinking about their teams going to this tournament. How are you guys doing? DJ Roy, Donadoni, welcome. Odogu.
Cloudy here in Texas, but
Glad
we
to be
good.
here. Glad to be back. Good to see you again, Odogu.
Nice,
Yes,
nice.
thank you.
All right, before we jump into it, please like, share, subscribe if you haven't yet done that. Right? All right, let's jump into it. So let's look at the groups. And let's talk about Chelsea to start off. DJ Roy. Okay, so in your group, we've got Flamengo from Brazil, we've got Esperance de Tunisia from Tunisia,
Tunisia.
and we've got LAFC. How are you feeling? Chelsea have already started signing. You guys have done your transfer. So for those who are not aware, there was a short transfer window that was open because of the FIFA Club World Cup. So Chelsea and Man City have both made signings and some sales. So DJ Roy, tell us how you're feeling about Chelsea going into this. You've been excited about this offline.
Well, I've been excited because Arsenal is not in it. That's why. Just kidding, just kidding. But yeah, man. I mean, I looked at this table and I'm like, the only things I know there are LAFC, Esperance de Tunis. I don't really watch Flamengo like that, so I don't know. But I think Flamengo might be one of the toughest team that we may have to face there. Yeah, LAFC they have a lot of former Chelsea player or former APL players, so that's gonna be a good one because I'm sure they're gonna want to come out and show out. But I mean, overall, I'm thinking Chelsea might top the group slightly. Sneak out in a few if you draw there and then maybe a win. I mean, definitely, I'm granting a win against Tunis and LAFC for sure.
Yeah.
Flamengo might be a tie.
So you think Flamengo might be the tough opponent in that group?
Yep, for sure.
All
It,
right.
yeah, they play each other once, right? That's it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it's
Yeah.
top
So
two.
what's that?
Top two, right? Top two comes out of the group.
Yes, so we go into a round of 16. So I'll bring up the scores and fixtures in a little bit, and we'll look at that as well. All right, Odogu, your thoughts on Man City, the way the season ended, your thoughts going into this Club World Cup, and the season ahead.
Oh yeah. Honestly, like we've all said, for Pep, this was just one of those unexpected. He had different curveballs come through from different players getting injured at different times where he wasn't able to manage from defense to midfield and also going into his personal problems. At some point he responded to things well and we saw the team, kind of coming up a bit, but there's still that huge disappointment, especially with the fact of even losing the FA Cup, which could have just been the only thing to Crystal Palace. But yeah, I think let's just go straight to the point of looking at Club World Cup with these new signings, guys like Aitnori, Rhinas, and Cherky. I think that's like a great addition to good midfielders and a fullback. And I think there's even Bentelli they also got. I think it'll be a great time to test these new guys before the season even starts. I definitely tip them on some good high chances. They've had some reinforcements, especially with De Bruyne leaving and some of the other experienced players leaving. This Club World Cup will definitely be a hint to show what the new Pep Guardiola Man City will have in stock for the league and the other competitions. So I'm looking forward to watching the Club World Cup, and I definitely tip Man City, Pep Guardiola to manage the squad he has and bring the best out as best as possible.
Okay, okay. I'll tell you, I for one was not disappointed you guys didn't win the FA Cup because I was like, you guys are having a crappy season. I want the crappy season to continue all the way through. So going on to that, right? You talked about the signings. I want to hear from Donadoni. Do you think these guys are going straight into the team? And what is your thought, with these three new guys that Pep has brought in, so far? So Nuri
Mm,
at left back, uh, box to box type midfielder and Rangers, and Cherky, who is an attacking midfielder.
it all depends on Pep, really. You can the system. They might be good individual players, but they have to fit a system. So you never know until you see them in that system. Yeah, Pep has unique ways of playing, and Cherky likes freedom. If you have paid attention to most of his game, he
Mhm.
likes the freedom, the license to roam and the attack, but doesn't do a lot of defensive work. Right? Is Pep going to give him that kind of license? I don't know. So we have to see some of these players in this setup to
Mm,
know if it will work or not. Or
okay.
Pep might want to change his system too.
So it sounds like you're not expecting them to maybe go straight in then. Like Pep might give them some time to blood in like he does. He tends to do with most of his new
He's
signings.
not the Pep I know is not going to take this tournament seriously.
Exactly.
Uh,
I was gonna say that.
the Pep I know is not going to take this tournament seriously.
Interesting.
Uh,
Why do you guys think so? Chichiro, you're echoing the same thoughts. Why do you guys think that?
that's what he has always. This is more like a
Well,
preseason friendly for him.
exactly. I think he's gonna see it treated as a preseason, and I think he's gonna play those new players right away.
Hmm.
I think he's gonna use this as a testing ground.
Can I
Yeah,
can I jump in here?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Because I
Devin, go ahead.
disagree. I disagree with Donadoni and Bola, and I'll tell you why. Um, you're saying Pep is not taking this tournament serious.
Mhm.
Pep has signed 4 players, and he rushed to sign them before the market closed, right? So the market was open early because of the club World Cup, so that they
Hmm.
could get the players. Same thing with Chelsea. They all rushed to get their player. As a matter of fact, Chelsea placed 2 bids for Gittins yesterday. Those 2 bids were rejected. That's how much they were rushing to get their players in to play this tournament. So it might not take the tournament serious, but I think there is something that is looking to get out of it. Let's not forget the prize money. The prize money for the winner could go up to 125 million. That's not a small money. That would
That's a
help with
lot.
the FPP rules, which I think by now City is already violating. But they pay lawyers. They pay them a lot of money to put this thing to bed, right? So
Your
they've been
back
surviving. They've been
is
surviving.
your back is
Before
okay.
these four
Another
players,
name. Story for
before these 4 players, they bought in 3 players during the January transfer, maybe even 3. So it's like nobody already replacing the entire team, and you are telling me he's not going to take it serious. I disagree.
Well,
Hmm.
I mean, not that he's not going to take it serious, but I mean, is he gonna, put plays like,
His
So
job is on the line. His reputation is on the line. I think he want to buy out at a better, what's it called, with a better achievement. Better than last season. Last season, like Donadoni said, he should have left. He didn't leave. So for the fact that he's sticking around, I think he actually wants to leave on the better note, which I think is trying to win some things to cover whatever happened last season before he finally decides to leave. That's what I think.
Odogu, what do you think? Do you think Pep is going for this?
Oh, I mean, regardless of how you look at it, the season is the main end goal. So you talk about him using those 3 players early. So however you want to look at it, for me as a City player, it's even good. He uses them, look at it as a preseason structure, and he has his mind settled by the time the season starts, saying out of these 3 guys, 2 of them will be starting guys, or one of them, whichever, he'll make a decision. I think it's inevitable that he's going to end up doing well, at least, even if he says he's not even putting his mind to come in number one. He can easily accidentally win this thing or even at least get to the final, you know. So I see how somebody can say he's not necessarily putting his mind into it. But for me, I actually think he's putting his all. Given what he went through last season, see him scratch his head, losing the FA Cup to Crystal Palace, anything he can get for his bragging rights, knowing that his time at Man City is almost done, he's gonna try and grasp it, if you ask me.
That's what I think. People like Donadoni want him out. Donadoni, am I lying?
Yeah, it's time for him to go.
Okay.
Who would you bring in if he goes?
There are so many. There's Fabregas. There are so many coaches. I wonder why we always believe that.
Fabregas.
You know, there are a lot
Yeah.
of names, but some people are not tested for that role.
Well, what kind of testing are we looking for? Fabregas is trying.
Donadoni, can we be realistic for a second? I know you want him out. I get your point. You've been saying it for months. But do you
Okay.
really think with the recruits that you guys have done recently, that's like
Mhm.
8 new players, right? Kusanov, Nico Gonzalez,
Mhm.
what's the Frankfurt guy?
Mamouche,
Mamouche, right?
Yeah.
Victor
Um,
Reis.
yeah,
Victor Reis
Rays, right? That's
Yes.
4. They're new 4.
from January. Yep.
Between January and now, that's a 6 month recruitment. 8 players, 8 new players, Donadoni. Do you really think that would be done for a new manager coming in and take that over if he's not being backed by the board to say we're giving you what you want?
Are
we're
you
giving
sure
you
he's the one buying the players, or the board are tired of him and they want to buy their own players now?
Okay, so you're
What
saying
makes
that
you
there's
think
a possibility
what
that
makes you
somebody
think
else
he's the
will
one
manage
buying
them
it?
eventually. Okay, maybe.
Remember,
Yeah.
remember, he said he didn't want players at the beginning of the season, and the board now realized that they made a mistake listening to him. What makes you think they are waiting for him to give a nod
Mm.
before they buy players now?
I watched your chairman talk last week, right? And he explained,
Mhm.
he said they started the rebuilding actually, but they didn't accelerate, like they could have done more. That the lesson
Yeah,
learned from him
because
was
the
that
coach said
they
he
could have
doesn't need
done more.
players.
Sorry,
Yeah,
that
and they
the,
said
that
they
the
are
lesson
backing.
learned was what, Beru?
Say that again.
You said the lesson learned was that.
That they should have done more. That they should
Yeah.
have done more with the what's it called, replacing
Janet
and what's the word I was trying to look for a
Oh,
word for.
the off-season
turnover.
buy,
Transfers.
Was that Donadon?
the off-season transfers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like they could have done more. So
But,
now they are
but,
trying to do it now, and he
but
basically said they are
you know,
backing off.
it was Guardiola that turned that offer down. That he didn't want any new players. That he was comfortable with what he had.
Okay, I mean now well, that was before Rodri's injury,
Yeah.
right? I think Rodri's injury kind of exposed you guys because it's kind of like your fabric. You built around it, and it kind of exposed you guys.
Rodri is an excuse. It's not. It's not. Rodri is not the problem. It's a
You
coaching
guys
problem.
tried many players in that, nothing happened. I mean, it's
Well,
just obvious. Just
it's
looking at
not.
the data right now.
It's not a Rodri problem. People just keep thinking it's a Rodri problem. It's a coaching problem. It's a coaching problem.
I think it's
All right,
both.
Rodri
so
is not an excuse.
let's look at
You find
the
Doku on the left. You find Doku on the left, always trying to dribble two players. There's no overlapping right back, overlapping left back, taking one defender away. You see Savigny on the right also trying to dribble two players. There's nobody making a run behind him.
Don't
You
worry,
find uh,
Donadoni.
you find
Donadoni.
Kasanov who has speed. You put him
Donadoni.
on the bench, and you're playing Nunes as a right back.
All the
So
things.
it's a coaching problem. No matter how you slice and dice it, it's a coaching problem.
Yeah.
all right. So let's look at the group. So are we guaranteeing Man City to get out of this group? Any surprises here from the City fans?
No, they probably will
That they
come
should
first or
scale
second.
through.
Who are these teams? I beg. Do you know who's
What
Uh,
team
Alain
is
is
that?
from
is?
That is the
Saudi, and
Moroccan team.
Wydad,
That is the
this looks
Moroccan
like an
team.
Australian team, though.
Al Ain is a no, is a Moroccan team. Al Ain is
yeah, from Saudi,
Dubai
Yeah.
actually,
Dubai.
Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, you have to middle Arab
So there are only
teams.
two English teams there.
Yes, just City.
I
European.
mean,
So there are 12.
you guys will beat
So
UV.
for
UV is
context,
not in a good form.
Yeah, Juve is not that good at the moment. I expect you guys to top this group. So there are 12 teams from Europe, I believe. So
Yeah,
Europe has gets the most slots. There are 32 teams in total. So
yeah.
8 groups of 4, just like the World Cup or the
So
former World Cup.
why is Chelsea here? Why? What's the
Chelsea's
criteria?
here because they picked the winners of the continental tournament. So they picked um, Chelsea won it in 2021 and City won it in
They
2023.
won it
So
in 20 what?
2021. So they look at who has won the continental tournament from the last 5 years. So that's why
Uh,
you have the likes of City, you have Madrid, you have
Donadoni,
Odogu,
Man
Odogu,
City.
you have something
Don't you
against
think this is
Chelsea?
fraudulent?
Huh?
So that was the conversation before you joined.
No, now look at the
Yeah,
Donadoni.
UEFA
why would
coefficient
you
now.
pick a team
Chelsea has one
when
of the highest in England. I mean,
highest what?
that's my what's it called? The coefficient thing that the FIFA UEFA coefficient, right? So
Yeah, so
yeah.
that's the next level for qualification. So if you haven't won any of those tournaments, then they look at the coefficients of the
Mhm.
teams. So that's how you get teams like Borussia Dortmund and Juve and Salzburg, Inter
Was there a
Milan.
cap by nation because Liverpool should have been here?
This is
Mm,
fraudulent. Chelsea should not be here.
when did Liverpool win it?
That's
2018, right?
last year now. I mean, 2 years ago.
The Champions League.
Yeah.
They won the
This
Champions League
is
2 years ago.
this is fraudulent. That's how Chelsea behaves all the time and Arsenal. Fraudulent moves to get to the league.
But hey, Donadoni, let's not talk about your 114 charges. Obviously, not 115.
Well,
Let's
I've
not talk
always
about.
heard that stuff, and
You want to
there's
talk about
nothing that's
fraud?
happened to
You want
date.
to talk about fraud? Let's not talk
So
about.
to kick off the tournament, the first game is on Saturday. So next week Saturday, Al Ahly will be playing against Inter Miami. Looks like we lost Bjorn here.
You said
Um,
next week or this week Saturday.
Next Saturday. So not this Saturday that we're at, but the following Saturday that is coming up.
No, it's what
Ah, it's this Saturday. It's
Saturday.
14th.
Oh, sorry.
This Saturday.
Apologies.
Yeah, I was about to say. I
It's
thought
this
our game is
Saturday.
on
It's this
Monday.
Saturday. Sorry, 14th. Whew, the week, the month is flying.
For
My
real.
bad.
Yeah, that's the opening game, right?
Yeah. So Al Ahly and
I
Inter
mean,
Miami
I
kick off
see
the
Ali
Saturday.
winning this game.
Really? You think
Yeah.
so? I
Yeah, I
wouldn't
mean,
be surprised
It's
I
actually. Al
actually
Ahly is a
think
good team.
Chelsea will struggle against Esperance. I might be wrong.
That I don't know about. Al Ahly for sure. I think Inter Miami will struggle
the
against.
Miami
I
is
Those
don't know if
African
not
teams,
that
Messi,
those
strong
African
if
even in
teams are
Messi
good.
magic will be enough.
exactly. They're not that strong even in MLS by itself. So,
Those African teams are not pushovers.
The
but
Egyptian Al Ahly for sure, I know is probably the strongest African team in the tournament, and I know they will give Inter Miami a challenge. People will probably be surprised because
Yeah.
they might look at it like the regular African teams that show up at the World Cup that usually struggle. Al Ahly, I think, will be a surprise
Yeah,
can I
I
can,
mean,
can I
Inter
can I say
Miami.
something? So
Yeah.
Chelsea. We just went through Conference League, right? So this looks like Conference
hmm
League to me.
yeah, I mean the Noah and the Soviets that you've been playing. You've been
Well,
playing some
the
African teams that
difference
you don't know
is the
where they've been.
difference is you also have teams like Bayern Munich, you have
And when we come
PSG,
out of
you
the
have
group, when we
Atletico,
come out of the group, it's like coming out of the group and going into Champions League. So that's fine. But
Okay,
right now,
so
right?
this is
which is
your
like
promotion
You
from
have
Europa
you have Inter Milan, you
Confederations.
have Real Madrid. There are
Okay,
tough
that's all right.
clubs that are
I mean,
waiting.
I know Chelsea is really taking this thing serious. So
yeah,
you got your strike.
yeah.
Yeah, they went to get the lap real quick.
I just hope Maresca, speaking of coaching, I just hope it doesn't turn him into a back passing forward because the reason why they went and got him, I'm sure, is because of his forward
I
play,
think I
his
think they went and
aggressiveness.
got him because Delap is one of those raw strikers in the box, right?
Exactly. I mean, yeah, but
He's one of those that will take. He's gonna take the shot if he gets a chance in the box.
I don't know why we sold that guy. Honestly,
you
makes
you,
no sense.
you know why you so cold, Mama.
Makes no sense. I just
So
don't know why.
what I said earlier is just sinking, right? Donadoni. I just called
Mm,
out three players that could have helped when you had crisis that
Exactly.
I mean last
yeah.
season, right?
I don't know
Lavia.
why we had the option of buying that guy back. We should have gotten him back. I don't know
Yeah.
why we just allow him to go.
But if you look at that team, nobody expected what happened to City to happen, right? So
Like
maybe that. I mean, if you guys could sell Alvarez, who is Palmer? if you guys could sell Alvarez, like you sold
Yeah.
Exactly.
Alvarez,
Yeah.
come on now.
Yeah.
So who else would you not sell?
That was total. I thought that was part of Pep's pride. I think. Like
Exactly.
maybe
Alvarez alone could
Yeah,
have
I
made a
think there's some
significant impact in the season.
Yeah,
Odogu.
that
definitely.
last season.
I will never hear from you.
Yeah.
Odogu.
Oh, it will be yeah. So one of the things I wanted to look at was, what we tend to see with brackets, right? So there are always two sides of the brackets. Um, but we won't really know how the bracket is shaping up, I think, until
I mean,
until
we can go through each group and just kind of like predict.
yeah.
Let me
Top four.
ask you guys, what do you think? What do you think will win this tournament? I mean, it's an inaugural competition. You guys might say City, Chelsea, they don't care, but this is an inaugural one, and I mean, I know for sure Real Madrid is going for this because they like to prove and
Not an
show that they are.
inaugural tournament. So just to clarify, it's not an inaugural tournament. They've just changed the format. So the format is different this year.
So
What was it before?
It was always
well,
4 teams.
remember it used to be like every year, every season. So you can't
Yeah,
really.
in
That's what we
December.
call the Super Club World Cup, whatever they call it, right?
Mhm.
I think it's different.
Around
This one is
around
going to be like
November,
every 4
December.
years.
So yeah, it's going to be every 4 years, and now it's an
And 4 years,
expanded
and it's going to be
competition.
32 or expanded, team. So
Yeah.
that's why I said this is a bit different.
It's all for money. This guy.
This stuff, to me, I think this tournament needs to be adjusted.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, too much games.
It's too much games.
Yeah.
Last week that is they were still playing as a last week, right?
Yeah.
PSG was still playing. So
Yeah,
if the
PSG
players
tournament was
play as
just
a last
two,
week,
2 weeks
and
ago. So
by July, August, they are back to
they,
play. I
they
think
don't get a break.
Yeah,
they
but
don't get a break.
you're saying they should shorten it. They are thinking of expanding it to 48 teams.
Yeah, and I think that's the bigger problem because the season is already too busy, right?
But it's going to be every 4 years, so we're not going to see this again next summer.
I mean,
But
it's going to be
then
every
you have
4 years.
the World Cup next summer. So there's something every summer. Yeah, the
But
players are
the
not
season
getting any
schedule,
breaks.
remember that the European players every season within this during the season, right? They
Yeah,
play this UEFA Nations League, which I think it's honestly it's rubbish.
yeah, they play 70,
Yeah,
80
right.
games every season now.
Right. That's too much. That's too much to be honest, right? So you're saying, oh, if you're the best, obviously, if you are the best, you win the league or you win Champions League, you're going to get involved, more involved than every other team.
But, but,
And more
but
games.
So that
look,
means your
look,
players they can go on break. Again,
so
I don't
look.
know whether this is good or bad for the teams that are playing and the teams that are not playing because there are conversations right now like maybe this is an advantage for Liverpool and Arsenal because they can have their players rested, right? Compared to Chelsea. And it's so funny. The top four that finished, two of them are going to the Club World Cup. Two of them are getting time off.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
we have a big squad, so we're not worried about that.
Yeah, for 45 players. Yeah, I know.
Eh, Of course, that's why do you think we bought 45 players?
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
we can field A,
All
B,
right, so
C.
let's look at each group. Starting with Group A, who are the two teams that you guys think are coming out of this?
Am I going first?
Sure.
All right.
I think I'll just go one by one. So DJ Roy, you go Group A, Donadoni will take Group B, and so on.
Okay. All right. Palmeiras, FC Porto, Al Ahly FC. I think Al Ahly will top the group, followed by
Really?
yeah, I think Al Ahly will top the group, followed by between Palmeiras and FC Porto.
Okay. So no Messi magic to get them out of the group.
That
Messi, Busquets.
bro, they're washed, man. They're going to be playing against. So the other thing is they're going to be playing against. Oh, you see all these other teams. I know. I said it's like Conference League. They're hungry. They want to showcase themselves. They want to be in the world stage. All those other
Yeah.
players are going to be playing with their all their 100%.
Okay. Okay. All right. Group B, Donadoni, you want to take this one?
PSG, Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, probably very simple. Okay.
Yeah.
Odogu.
Well,
Group
Group
C.
C.
remember that Dembele is out of this World Cup.
It
World
doesn't
Cup.
matter. They don't
Doesn't
need
matter.
him.
Yeah,
Do
they
should we
don't.
do is playing?
Donadoni, those who have just won Champions League, they've been partying. I don't think they are coming to this tournament to do
That's
anything.
another angle. But
But they
for
have a
now, we're
good
gonna pick
squad.
them.
I mean, they have Kvaratskhelia, Doué, Vitinha, João Neves.
I'm
Like
saying they've
the
been
squad is.
partying and enjoying and having fun. They already are
João Neves
treble.
just played in the final on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm Vitinha as well, right?
And Vitinha, yeah.
And Nuno
They don't have
Mendes.
time. They
So
don't have time to. They don't have time to party.
That's true.
okay, we shall
I
see.
wonder if they'll get a break though, but we'll see. All right, Group C, Odogu.
Oh yeah, so for Group C, I see Bayern Munich, Auckland, Boca Juniors, and that's Benfica at the end, right?
Yeah.
We give it
Mhm.
to Bayern Munich and Benfica.
Boca Juniors, don't sleep
Martinez
on
is
them,
good.
more. Right?
They are
Don't sleep
washed.
on Boca Juniors.
Mm.
Yeah.
Current ones are washed. Okay, okay.
Boca is washed.
Yeah.
Boca is all, they are not that good again.
Okay. Group D, Biodu.
Oh, Group D.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I miss Charles. This is where I got from Charles. I wish Charles was here tonight. Oh my god. So Flamingo, Esperance, Chelsea, LAFC. I think Flamingo and Esperance.
Be honest. You know, Richard Bele. Yeah, you're not serious.
You wanted to see? Yeah, just how you react.
Okay. All right. Let me see. Chelsea, Flamingo.
Okay.
It's okay. Chelsea, I think Chelsea's gonna come second. I'm not worried about.
Chelsea, Flamingo. Let's leave it that way. If there's any upsets, that would be Esperance.
Okay. All right. And I'll take Group E. I fully expect Inter Milan to win this group, and probably Monterrey. I think would be my second pick.
Monterrey is a Mexican team.
Yep.
What about River Plate, Argentina?
So for River Plate, I'm looking forward to seeing Master Tuano. There's a lot of hype around him. I don't know if you guys know him. He's just been signed by Real Madrid, but they've agreed that he will
Don't
play
name
for
him.
River Plate.
Is that confirmed?
It's confirmed, yeah. It's
Oh, okay.
confirmed. But he's going to play for River Plate in this tournament, and then they will announce the signing after the Club World Cup. I'm not sure if he's going back on loan there. I think he's actually coming to Real Madrid, but the argument is that he'll play for River Plate and then go over to Real Madrid after the Club World Cup. So if any upset, maybe River Plate, but I expect Royal Red Diamonds to be bottom of this group. Maybe they'll surprise me. We'll see. All right, Group F. We'll come back to you, DJ Rock.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know any of these teams. Only Borussia Dortmund.
It's Mamelodi Sundowns from South Africa.
Yeah.
Ulsan HD is
Fluminense.
from
That's Brazil.
yes, Ulsan. We'll meet some of the teams. Don't actually see which country they're from.
Ulsan.
Ulsan. I think they might be from South Korea or yeah, South Korea. So Ulsan is a South Korean club.
Yeah, the K League.
Yep.
Okay.
And then of course Fluminense from Brazil.
Well, I mean, going by known teams, but I guess Borussia will top the league and Fluminense will come second.
Yeah.
Okay. So better, you know, Marquinhos has gone back to Fluminense. Marcel.
Wait, Mike Hughes, you said?
Marquinhos.
Oh yeah, your father.
The guy we bought 2 seasons ago. I know. I mean, I know also. Is that where he went back to?
Yeah, he's at Fluminense. I believe so.
Okay, so Borussia Dortmund, Job. I think Job is playing for them. Jude's younger brother.
Joby Bellingham.
You
Yeah.
signed him?
I think they signed him on time to play, so he's going to play the World Cup. Club World Cup.
Yep.
Then Gittins is also going to play. That Chelsea tried to sign. So
I don't think Gittins is going to play. He's probably going to refuse to play.
Why do you
he's
think?
going to play for them.
Because why?
Why do you think he'll refuse?
I think he really wants to come to Chelsea, and I don't think they want to risk
No, I
it.
mean, for this tournament, he's not losing. He's going to play the World Cup anyway, the Club World Cup. So,
We'll see.
I mean, Chelsea said they're going to bid after the tournament. So, I don't think he should feel bad. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, they're still going to go back for him. So, it shouldn't be a big deal. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Richard Otsman, Adiemi, all of them. Yeah, they have a good squad. Yeah,
Correction, actually, Marquinhos went to Cruzeiro, not Fluminense. I think he came from
that's
Fluminense.
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, it's not.
Okay. Group G.
Who's that?
I think that's Donadoni.
Yep.
Group
Your
G,
club. Group G.
Man City and Juventus.
Yeah, I think you already picked that.
Easily.
Okay. And the last group is Real Madrid's group. Odogu.
Let me see what we got. Real Madrid,
Alila from
Salzburg,
Pachuca from Mexico, I
Benfica.
believe.
This is interesting. I guess I'll give this to Real Madrid and maybe between Salzburg and Al Hilal.
I think Al Hilal is going to be second. Isn't that Kante's team?
Yeah, Kante. Yeah,
Yep.
that's his team.
Yeah, they're definitely. I think they might even top that league, that table. That
Yeah. Over Real
Um,
Madrid?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, yeah, Real Madrid is taking this thing.
They were
This is like-
second.
Real Madrid is not settled right now, right? So
No,
Why do
everyone
you
is
think that?
playing. Like,
Huh?
yeah, even their new signings are playing. Trent is playing.
Den
Denelson.
Huysen is playing.
they still have to. They still have to. I mean, you're talking about
They've been training.
Latin that's been playing together, and then
Alonso started work this week.
Yep.
They've
They're
been
back to
training.
training. Yep. Rodrigo,
Yeah.
I think, posted himself back in training yesterday or so.
They're taking it serious.
they'll give it a shot. But I think
I remember the coach. The coach is the new coach, Inzaghi. Inzaghi is the new coach now.
no for Real
Yeah,
Madrid.
the new coach. No, Inter Milan, the guy that lost Champions League.
Oh, Al
Yeah,
Hilal.
Al Hilal.
Yeah, Alila. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they
Okay.
tried to sign Bruno and everybody. Bruno refused.
All right. So to round up, I'm just gonna ask you guys to throw out maybe the two teams you think will make it to the final. Just go around. I'll start with you, Biodun.
Okay. Two
Let's play
teams.
the next
I
step.
think Real Madrid is one of them.
Okay.
I think we might get a Real
There's
Madrid.
no Barcelona in this stuff.
What did you say?
Barcelona.
There's
Yeah,
no
Barcelona.
Barcelona.
I won Champions League.
Yeah.
No,
They haven't won
yeah.
the Champions League in a
So
while.
Atletico Madrid made it, right? Yeah. I think it's going to be City Madrid final.
City Madrid. Okay.
Yeah. They will find a way to make it out.
Okay.
City Madrid. Yeah.
I'll come next to you, DJ Roy.
Of course, I'm not gonna pick against my team. So Chelsea.
You really expect Chelsea to get past all these other European teams and make it to the final?
Yeah.
Okay. I love the confidence.
We have the team and the talents to do it. Yes. So Chelsea.
That's what happens when you let people win small competitions.
Chelsea.
All of a sudden, you start believing.
Start saying whatever.
You start saying things. So Chelsea, okay, fine.
I'm
Chelsea.
gonna go with an underdog, a real underdog from Africa, Al Hilal and Chelsea.
Interesting.
Al Hilal or Al Ali?
Al Hilal, sorry.
Hallelujah.
Al Ali. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Al Ali and Chelsea. Donadoni. Donadoni is not picking.
This is a PSG. PSG are the best team in this tournament.
My thoughts precisely.
You just have to give it to PSG. And probably Madrid. PSG and Madrid to a final. They're better than the rest. Pep is not Pep. We have to see what Pep has to do. There's no point putting your money on that guy for now. Don't waste the money.
Okay.
My guy.
Don't
Odogu.
waste it.
Yeah, it's interesting. Definitely dubbing PSG, but I think there might be some form of element of surprise amongst the top guys. So to follow PSG, I think it might even just end up being like an Atletico Madrid to follow PSG at that final.
Yeah, Well, look, they're in the same group. That's the problem.
Oh, okay. Then maybe if
Yeah,
I was
but
to
I
give it
think
to,
they end up on either side of the bracket. So you have two B on this side and one B on this side.
let's see,
So there's a chance they could both make it back all the way.
to the final.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, the moment you come second, you go and play. They'll go and play Real Madrid that knows how to deal with them. Yeah,
That's where the upset to happen.
Yeah. All right.
yeah. The team is
Um. Mhm.
the team is over reliant on Alvarez with their hero. If
Oh,
you,
he delivers. He
yeah, but
delivers. Yeah, I think Madrid and PSG are the best teams in the tournament as well. I just want to look at where they shape up. So one B, they both win their groups, and one H. So
So
one B
the other side
here,
of the bracket.
one H here. So there's a chance they will meet before. If they both win all their games, there's a chance they meet in the semifinal before the final.
Mhm.
Mm.
So for that reason, I don't think we'll get a Real Madrid PSG final.
That's why I said
Um,
Real Madrid City. What about City, Real Madrid? That checks out, right?
so let's see. City 1G, Real Madrid 1H. Yep, 1G on this side, 1H on this side. So that's possible. You
I
could
mean,
have a
I know
City
these
Madrid
people now,
final.
the way they do it. Yeah, like they know this thing, like
They
forget
have it
it.
planned.
It's already planned. People just don't believe.
Scripted.
Yeah.
So for that reason, um, I
And
I
always
I
check.
think
One side is always concentrated to be strong, then one side is always weak. That's normal. They'll put like giants on one side to crash them, crush and
how
kill
come
them.
there's always an excuse for those that are losing? They blame the referee, they blame the groupings, they blame the. There's always something to blame. Yeah, that's why
It's
I was
a
saying
pattern.
we,
Donado
we,
is
we
pattern.
we
We've
don't
seen it.
have a striker. We don't have a striker. That's why we are
Donado,
losing.
it's a pattern. We've seen it. They do it all the time.
I
yeah.
don't
So
understand it.
on this side of the bracket, City are probably the strongest team. So I think for that
I'm
reason,
telling
I would maybe pick a
You are,
City
you
Madrid
are,
Madrid
this
final
this
as well.
progress that you are saying, it's Guardiola.
Wait, yeah,
You keep saying progress. We know this guy. We've been watching him for almost 10 years now.
you're underestimating Chelsea. Oh, yeah, you predict Chelsea
Where is
to
Chelsea?
yeah.
Chelsea's on the other side now.
you. Right?
D.
Yeah, Chelsea's in Group D. So you guys are on the strong side.
Yeah.
If you win your group, you will face Real Madrid or PSG at one point.
Yeah.
You
Mhm.
really think you're gonna beat either of those guys, or
Yes.
even Bayern Munich? Well, I think Bayern Munich is on the other side. You're gonna beat Real Madrid and PSG.
So I think you guys are forgetting, right? Chelsea,
Forgetting what?
we play well against teams that attack. It's those low block teams that we struggle with.
Sorry,
So
sorry, sorry. Point of
it,
correction. Point of correction. You don't. Arsenal, you didn't beat Arsenal last season.
You
okay,
Arsenal
didn't beat
attacked.
Liverpool. You didn't beat Arsenal.
You didn't beat Liverpool. You didn't beat
yeah,
Arsenal.
yeah, yeah.
They
You
attacked.
didn't beat Man City. So I
You
Yeah,
don't
didn't
you
beat
didn't beat
understand how
City.
Man
you
Man
did
City actually beat you man away.
Okay, all those teams that you're calling,
Did you beat Newcastle?
all the teams that you're calling, I didn't.
Exactly. You couldn't even beat Newcastle. So
So you
fun
didn't beat
aside.
anybody else in
Any
the
of
top
the top,
five,
yeah. Maybe Aston Villa. Aston
And,
Villa
that,
was
and,
the
that,
only
and,
thing they
that,
did.
and that's fine.
and now you want to go and play teams that
Yeah.
win the Champions League.
it.
Like, are
Maybe
you serious?
Chelsea. You are thinking of Chelsea from like 2016. I keep trying to remind you that I
Yeah.
don't think you know the Chelsea you have right now.
Even Guardiola beat them over the way we Rondo
Yeah.
type of
I did not beat the woman away in the terrible season.
with the Rondo football.
We believe in our team and we're gonna go far.
Okay. All
I
right.
love your confidence.
Okay.
All right, awesome, awesome. I love this conversation. I'm actually excited because it's kind of like we're getting a Champions League, but then we get the Champions League teams against like the best from everywhere in the world. So I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of players from like Al Hilal and like Alali and Fluminense.
I,
Masantuano. There's a lot of hype about
I think
him.
after this tournament, maybe the balls will be more. People, it's new. Maybe because of this format, there's no buzz around it because it's too new.
Yeah, I think
But
it's a
after,
new tournament. It's in the US where there's a lot of controversy in the US right now with politics and immigration and all of that. So I think a lot of the maybe negative press that has traded with the US right now has maybe dampened the feeling about the tournament. But I think you're right. I think after the tournament or maybe during the tournament, the excitement will pick up. Yeah. All right. Any closing thoughts?
I'm interested in seeing
No,
Man City.
just
I want to see the team.
Awesome.
yeah.
Go.
I mean, all the new things, all the new recruits is an opportunity to start seeing them. This is pretty much preseason
It
starting
is.
early
It is.
for me.
Yep.
Without Arsenal.
Awesome.
Without Arsenal.
We're resting.
I
We're resting, and we'll have our own
playing
preseason.
We'll
for
rest,
Community Shield.
rest, we'll rest, we'll rest.
All
I
right,
don't
guys.
need any of my players getting injured. That's it for me.
But Odogu, you know that every season, there is one or two players that just get unlucky and have this terrible
Yeah.
injury before the
Maybe
season. It happens all
Haaland.
the time.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thank you guys for your time. Catch you on the next one.